Some of you have been asking me, hey V, do I really need Lynae to make Aemeath work? Fair question. Many players skipped Lynae, she is now gone, Mornier is about to leave, and you are left choosing between Chisa and Lupa. Assuming you already have Mornier and want to finish your Aemeath team, Lupa is simply the safer pick. She pushes Aemeath's Resonance Mode Fusion Burst without forcing her out of Resonance Mode Toon Break. Let me explain why. Welcome back to the channel. Kamusta sa inyong lahat? Hey, Aemeath is coming in a few days. Not only are you going to need to pull her, but you also need her weapon and maybe either Lupa or Chisa. That's a lot considering that there aren't a lot of Asterites available. If you need some help with farming Asterites, check out my loot bar link down in the description and pinned comment for cheaper than in-game top-ups. Loot bar offers up to 25% discounts plus an extra 10% off when you use my link. It's definitely much cheaper than in-game top-ups. It is widely used by WUWA players, has strong Trustpilot ratings, and supports DIY top-ups on your PC or mobile where you get the discounts without sharing your password. Just log into Loot Bar, purchase, and then you go to their online DIY top-up page to complete the transaction yourself without giving anyone your password to do it. If you are looking to top up and save big, Loot Bar is a straightforward and secure way while supporting the channel. So, let's get back to it. Aemeath does not need Lynae to be effective, not because Lynae is bad, but because Lupa exists. She is one of the most aggressively overtuned fusion supports the game has ever released and conveniently reruns in the first phase of version 3.1. While Chisa's synergy with Aemeath remains uncertain, Lupa's interaction with her kit is already clear. In Monofusion teams, Lupa is simply the cleaner and more immediately impactful choice, while Chisa functions as a broader, more universal support. To understand why, you have to look at what Lupa does to the fusion meta. She is not a niche pick or a side grade, she trivializes fusion team building. If a DPS deals fusion damage, Lupa immediately becomes a top-tier option and often the best support available. Her impact only becomes obvious when everything stacks together in real gameplay. She combines fusion damage bonus, attack, direct damage amplification, basic attack amplification, and fusion resistance ignore in a single kit. Rotations can comfortably exceed 1.5 million damage without unrealistic setups. Resistance Ignore is the real sleeper here. It bypasses enemy defenses, avoids diminishing returns, and scales brutally on already strong kits. With Lupa in the team, fusion damage stops feeling conditional and starts feeling inevitable. That is why she is considered meta-defining. She does not introduce new mechanics or force awkward play. She takes existing fusion kits and pushes them far past normal limits. When damage checks disappear and enemies melt before their mechanics matter, that is the difference between strong and broken. She is not buffing one character, she is buffing the entire damage type. Every fusion DPS benefits, including Aemeath. There is one condition. Lynae's buffs peak in Monofusion teams. That sounds restrictive until you remember the game already solved this problem. Mornier exists. She is a universal fusion healer who fits this structure without awkward compromises. With Mornier in the team, Monofusion stops being theorycraft and becomes the default. This is why Lupa quickly became the best support for fusion resonators. She does not force players to change their playstyle. Instead, she amplifies what they are already doing, enhancing every rotation and decision without adding complexity. Mornier keeps the team stable, ensuring Monofusion consistency and survivability. That same logic applies directly to Aemeath, where Lupa seamlessly integrates into her kit and maximizes her output while letting her core mechanics shine. At this point, the Lynae comparison usually comes up, and this is where discussions tend to derail. Players look at how clean and synergistic Lynae's kit is on paper and immediately assume exclusivity. Signature support gets mistaken for mandatory support. The logic feels sound, but the game does not actually enforce it. Lynae is an excellent unit. She is one of the strongest sub-DPS options in her niche, offers powerful universal buffs, and brings meaningful liberation damage bonuses. None of that is in question. The mistake is assuming those strengths automatically make her required. Aemeath, by contrast, is expected to be a toon break DPS, and that distinction is crucial. Unlike negative status characters, toon break units do not rely on external applicators. They generate and trigger their own shifting status effects through their own actions, giving them much more flexibility in team composition. This difference matters a lot. Kits built around externally applied debuffs come with strict team restrictions, limiting which units you can run together and forcing more careful planning. Toon break units bypass that limitation entirely, allowing more flexible team compositions, easier experimentation, and creative synergies that would otherwise be impossible with traditional debuff-dependent kits. Aemeath can apply the shifting status herself as early as her intro skill. That means Toon Rupture and Toon Strain are not locked behind Lynae. While Lynae can apply Toon Rupture shifting, she is not the only way to enable Aemeath's full kit. This opens more options for team building and allows Aemeath to function independently.
This is also why Aemeath's weapon, Ever-Bright Polestar, is tuned so tightly around her. While it may be possible for other teammates to trigger its passive through Toon Rupture shifting, that interaction remains theoretical. What is clear is that Aemeath does not rely on Lynae or any external unit to activate it. What Lynae actually provides is optimization, not functionality. She improves rotation speed, damage windows, and ceiling. She does not determine whether Aemeath works in the first place. Lynae's liberation buffs and all damage amplification pair extremely well with Aemeath, especially alongside Mournier, and that setup showcases Aemeath's maximum ceiling. But Aemeath does not collapse without her. Lupa remains fully viable and can even outperform her in certain scenarios. Because Aemeath applies and responds to her own Toon Rupture shifting, the difference between using Lynae or not comes down to consistency rather than raw capability. Lynae increases frequency and smooths rotations, but she does not unlock Aemeath's functionality. Viewed in this light, the synergy of a Lupa and Mournier pairing becomes obvious. Aemeath handles her own Toon Break mechanics independently. Mournier provides reliable Monofusion stability. Lupa then layers staggering fusion scaling onto an already self-sufficient DPS, making the team both resilient and devastatingly strong. This combination can theoretically outperform a Lynae and Shorekeeper setup, not because Lynae is weak or underperforming, but because Lupa amplifies Aemeath's core fusion damage so aggressively and so consistently that the total team output often surpasses more traditional support pairings, especially in sustained fights where fusion scaling and resistance ignore compound over multiple rotations. That said, it is not flawless. Aemeath is a hypercarry, and Lupa prefers fast rotations to match her tempo. Glory lasts only 35 seconds, replacing Lupa's normal intro with an enhanced version that boosts damage and clears pack hunt effects. If Aemeath overstays on field, that enhanced intro falls off, slightly lowering Lupa's contribution. It is a small optimization issue, but one worth keeping in mind when planning rotations. Beyond raw damage, there is a bigger design takeaway. When DPS units are locked to a single support, banners feel restrictive and team variety suffers. Lupa represents the opposite approach. She expands options instead of narrowing them. Universal supports like her reduce mandatory pulls, encourage flexible team building, and support a healthier game ecosystem. Aemeath working cleanly with Lupa rather than being tied to Lynae is a clear win for both players and the overall system. So no, Aemeath does not necessarily require Lynae to function. Lynae remains an excellent unit, highly valuable, and a strong option if her playstyle appeals to you. She is arguably the most versatile and universal Toon Break support available, with a complete toolkit of Toon Break effects and interactions. But if you are staring at that banner and asking where the real long-term value lies, the answer becomes very clear. Lupa is absurd. Lupa is future-proof. And for Aemeath, she is not a compromise. She is an upgrade path that makes sense mechanically, numerically, and strategically, especially when you don't have Lynae. As always, if this video resonated with you, please leave a like and subscribe. Ring that bell for massive gacha luck and maybe a sandwich. Thank you so much for watching. Maraming salamat po, and I will see you in my next video drop. Goodbye.